afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We're gathered here. Hello. Good afternoon, ladies. Hello. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all. Thank you all for joining us today. We're gathered here in front of the U.S. Capitol building in Washington, D.C. to commemorate the 27th anniversary of the 1997 February 5th Ghulja Massacre, and to call on the U.S. Congress, along with the U.S. government, to act swiftly to end China's genocide in occupied East Turkestan. Before we start, we will start with the playing of the East Turkestan national anthem. Since China invaded and occupied East Turkestan in late 1949, East Turkestan and its people have been subjected to decades of colonization, genocide, and occupation, and witnessed numerous atrocities and massacres, which sadly continue to this day. One of the most well-known recent massacres that occurred in East Turkestan is the Ghulja Massacre of 1997. On February 5th, 1997, thousands of Uyghurs, Kazakhs, and other Turkic peoples of East Turkestan, being unable to no longer bear China's decades-long oppression in East Turkestan, took to the streets of Ghulja to peacefully demand freedom and independence for our country and its people. Customary to China's routine response, instead of hearing our people's legitimate peaceful grievances, the Chinese occupation forces engaged in state terrorism and brutally crushed the Ghulja protests in what became known as the Ghulja Massacre. Hundreds, if not thousands, of peaceful protesters were killed, and tens of thousands were arrested across East Turkestan. Today marks the 27th anniversary of the 1997 Ghulja Massacre. We honor the brave men and women who peacefully sought justice for our people and an end to China's decades-long colonization and occupation of our country. Despite it being brutally crushed, the Ghulja Revolution played a crucial role in awakening our nation and showing the world the determined will of our people to strive for their independence and freedom. Over the past 2 decades since the Ghulja Massacre, China has intensified its campaign of colonization, genocide, and occupation in East Turkestan. Over the years, our language, our culture, our very identity, and our very existence became slowly eroded by the Chinese state and its occupation forces. Starting in 2014 and intensifying since 2016, millions of East Turkestan's peoples, Uyghurs, Kazakhs, Kyrgyz, Uzbeks, Tatars, and others, were sent to concentration camps and prisons where they were subject to forced labor, forced starvation, forced medication, organ harvesting, rape, sterilization, torture, and even execution. Massacres like the Ghulja Massacre are ongoing at the present moment as China seeks to eradicate our country and its people. Sadly, time is running out for East Turkestan and its people. Our men are being killed for their organs, our women are being systematically raped, sexually abused, sterilized, and tortured, and our children are being forcibly assimilated. There is no doubt what China is doing in East Turkestan is genocide. For years, we have campaigned for the international community, led by the United States, to recognize the genocide and act against this. As you are all aware, on January 19th, 2021, the U.S. State Department designated China's atrocities against Uyghurs and other Turkic peoples in East Turkestan as genocide. And this has been reaffirmed by the United States Congress and the present administration. We urgently address the U.S. Congress and the U.S. government regarding the ongoing genocide perpetrated by the People's Republic of China in occupied East Turkestan. These are not only crimes against humanity and genocide, but are a direct, manifold challenge to American laws and interests. With deep appreciation, we acknowledge the United States Congress' steadfast commitment to upholding the rights and freedoms of Uyghurs, Kazakhs, Kyrgyz, and other Turkic peoples in our homeland. The U.S. Congress's support has been instrumental in raising awareness of the dire situation in East Turkestan and our efforts to hold the Chinese government accountable for its ongoing campaign of colonization, genocide, and occupation in East Turkestan. In September 2018, over 109,000 members of the global East Turkestani diaspora submitted a petition to the White House urging the U.S. government to condemn the ongoing genocide and prevent a 21st century Holocaust-like genocide in East Turkestan. The petition called for sanctions on Chinese officials under the Global Magnitsky Act, trade sanctions, prohibition of the export of DNA sequencers, surveillance technology, weapons, and other items used to perpetrate the atrocity, and to pressure the UN to uphold the UN Genocide Convention and to recognize East Turkestan as an occupied country. To date, the U.S. Congress and the U.S. government have fulfilled many of our requests, including recognizing China's atrocities against the East Turkestani people as genocide and crimes against humanity, sanctioning Chinese officials and entities, and banning goods made from the forced and slave labor of East Turkestanis. However, the genocide persists relentlessly at this very moment in 2024. Millions of East Turkestanis endure the horrors of incarceration and mass internment within concentration camps and prisons, while countless more are ensnared in the chains of forced labor within camps and factories spanning East Turkestan and into Chinese provinces. Beyond random mass incarceration, our intellectuals, community leaders, and religious figures have been specifically targeted, and many are known to have died in the concentration camps and prisons. The conditions of torture and animalistic cruelty prevailing in the camps and prisons are almost certainly a major cause of death. Nearly 1 million East Turkestani children suffer the anguish of forced separation from their families, subjected to the coercive grasp of state-sponsored assimilation efforts. Our people's culture, existence, religious freedoms are slowly under siege, slowly and systematically being eroded by the Chinese state and the Chinese Communist Party. We implore the U.S. Congress to take the lead in pushing a reluctant executive branch of the U.S. government to take meaningful actions to truly end this prolonged humanitarian crisis by addressing the root cause of the ongoing genocide in East Turkestan, Chinese colonization and occupation of East Turkestan. We implore the U.S. Congress to recognize East Turkestan as an occupied country. We ask the U.S. Congress to introduce a resolution recognizing East Turkestan, like Tibet, in accordance with U.S. policy of respecting the right to external self-determination, as well as highlighting the legitimacy of China's colonial occupation and underscoring that issues related to East Turkestan are not China's so-called internal affairs. We ask the U.S. Congress to upgrade the Uyghur Policy Act to the East Turkestan Policy Act, updating the title of the legislation to encompass the whole of East Turkestan and its people, including Uyghurs, Kazakhs, Kyrgyz, Uzbeks, Tatars, Mongols, and others. This comprehensive approach is essential for addressing the multifaceted challenges faced by the East Turkestani people. We also call on the U.S. Congress to appoint a special coordinator for East Turkestani issues, to establish a dedicated position within the U.S. State Department to coordinate efforts to address the humanitarian crisis in East Turkestan, as well as China's extensive malign activities against U.S. persons of East Turkestani origin, ensuring sustained attention and meaningful action both nationally and internationally. We urge the U.S. Congress to support East Turkestan's pursuit of justice. We ask Congress to support East Turkestan's efforts to obtain justice and accountability by supporting East Turkestan's complaint before the International Criminal Court, and or by referring China's ongoing genocide and crimes against humanity before the International Court of Justice. The international community must stand together in holding the Chinese state and the Chinese Communist Party accountable for its crimes. We ask the U.S. Congress and the U.S. government to resist China's attempts to erase East Turkestan. As the U.S. has done for Tibet, we implore the U.S. Congress and the U.S. government to resist China's attempts to erase East Turkestan's identity by using the correct name for our homeland, East Turkestan, and rejecting the Chinese state's propaganda term, Xinjiang, meaning the colony or new territory, which signifies colonial domination and erasure. If the U.S. Congress and the U.S. government must use the Chinese state's propaganda term, so-called Xinjiang, we ask that it be done in the following manner: East Turkestan, what Beijing calls Xinjiang. In conclusion, we urge the U.S. House Committee on Foreign Affairs, the Senate Committee on Foreign Relations, and the Select Committee on the Chinese Communist Party to lead the U.S. government and the international community in confronting China's prolonged campaign of colonization, genocide, and occupation in East Turkestan. The fate of millions of innocent people, innocent lives hang in the balance, and history will judge our collective response to this grave injustice. Thank you. And now we call on Dr. Aziz Suleiman to give a speech in the Uyghur language addressing, in English, regarding the details about the 1997 February 5th Ghulja Massacre.
Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Today, on this historic February 5th, we come together reflecting on 27 years since the courageous souls of Ghulja faced brutal crackdown and murder by the Chinese government. Today is not just about remembrance. It's not just about pain and sadness. It is about celebration of unshakable spirit. It is about celebration of unyielding commitment of our Uyghur youth against oppressive forces of tyrannical Chinese Communist Party. In the face of adversity, our people didn't just resist, they rose up. They shout a bold no to chains of occupation, standing tall against ongoing oppression and genocide. The Ghulja Massacre, written deep in the history books, it was not just a storytelling. It was a beating heart of relentless, unshakable spirit of East Turkestan. My brothers and sisters, let's get something straight. The Ghulja Massacre, the sacrifice of Ghulja, was not in vain. It was a wake-up call. It sent a message to the world that the people of East Turkestan was not a defeated people. We are not here to be silenced. We are here to fight for our freedom, fight for our independence every chance we get. Today is not just about reflections. It's about honor our martyrs, respect our heroes. It's about to understand the ongoing oppression and genocide we face is direct consequence of Chinese invasion, occupation, and colonization of our country, East Turkestan. Our very surveillance, our very survivals depends on restoration of our country, East Turkestan. The Ghulja Massacre was not just a tragedy. It was a declaration. It sent a clear and loud message to Chinese oppressors that no matter how hard you try to crush us, whether in concentration camps, whether in behind bars or constant surveillance, the people of East Turkestan will not be silenced. We will persist, and we will persist. Trust me, we will achieve a sweet taste of triumphant victory, a victory of restoring our country, East Turkestan. So on this historic day, we stand strong. May the Almighty bless our people. May the Almighty bless our country, East Turkestan. Thank you.
And now we'll face the U.S. Capitol to do some chants. We already earlier delivered some letters from the President and Prime Minister of the East Turkestan government in exile to the U.S. House Foreign Affairs Committee's chairman and the U.S. Senate Foreign Relations Committee's chairman as well. And now we're here to call on the U.S. government, the U.S. Congress, to hear our pleas. Remember Ghulja! February 5th, never forget! Remember Ghulja! February 5th, never forget! U.S. Congress, take a stand!
U.S. Congress, take a stand!
U.S. Congress, take a stand!
U.S. Congress, take a stand!
Justice for East Turkestan.
Justice for East Turkestan.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
U.S. Congress take a stand.
Justice for East Turkestan.
Justice for East Turkestan.
Hear East Turkestan's plea. Hear East Turkestan's plea. End the Chinese occupation.
End Chinese occupation.
End the Chinese occupation.
End Chinese occupation.
Act now, U.S. Congress.
Act now, U.S. Congress.
Act now, U.S. Congress.
Act now, U.S. Congress.
Justice must begin.
Justice must begin.
Justice must begin.
Justice must begin.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
U.S. Congress take a stand.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
U.S. Congress take a stand.
Independence for East Turkestan.
Independence for East Turkestan.
Independence for East Turkestan.
Independence for East Turkestan.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
U.S. Congress take a stand.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
U.S. Congress take a stand.
Independence for East Turkestan.
Independence for East Turkestan.
Independence for East Turkestan.
Independence for East Turkestan.
U.S. Congress, don't delay.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
U.S. Congress, don't delay.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
Act for East Turkestan today.
Act for East Turkestan today.
Act for East Turkestan today.
Act for East Turkestan today.
U.S. Congress, don't delay.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
U.S. Congress, don't delay.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
Act for East Turkestan today.
Act for East Turkestan today.
Act for East Turkestan today.
Act for East Turkestan today.
Stand up to Chinese imperialism.
Stand up China's imperialism.
Stand up to Chinese imperialism.
Stand up China's imperialism.
Stand up to Chinese colonialism.
Stand up China's colonialism.
Stand up to Chinese colonialism.
Stand up China's colonialism.
Stand up to Chinese imperialism.
Stand up China's imperialism.
Stand up to Chinese colonialism.
Stand up Chinese colonialism.
Oppose Chinese occupation of East Turkestan. Oppose Chinese occupation of East Turkestan. End Chinese colonization of East Turkestan. End Chinese colonization of East Turkestan.
Yes, sir. How's it going?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm Officer Rhodes, police. Right now, this cannot be facing towards the building. It's in our Capitol rules and regulations. So if you want to turn it around, you
Sure.
can still do that.
Yeah, sure.
But it can't be facing the building, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Speaker atrap. Speaker atrap samalo. Yeah, ash bina atrap.
Oppose Chinese occupation of East Turkestan. Oppose Chinese occupation of East Turkestan. Oppose Chinese colonization of East Turkestan. Oppose Chinese colonization of East Turkestan. Call it East Turkestan, not Xinjiang. Call it East Turkestan, not Xinjiang. East Turkestan is not a part of China. East Turkestan is not a part of China. East Turkestan is not China's internal affairs. East Turkestan is not China's internal affairs. Call it East Turkestan, not Xinjiang. Call it East Turkestan, not Xinjiang. East Turkestan is not a part of China. East Turkestan is not a part of China. East Turkestan is not a part of China. East Turkestan is not China's internal affairs.
East Turkestan not China's Turkestan, China has independence.
Recognize East Turkestan an occupied country.
Recognize Turkestan as an occupied country.
Recognize East Turkestan an occupied country.
Recognize Turkestan as an occupied country.
Recognize East Turkestan's struggle for independence.
Recognize Turkestan struggle for independence.
Recognize East Turkestan's struggle for independence.
Recognize Turkestan struggle for independence.
Recognize East Turkestan as an occupied country.
Recognize Turkestan as an occupied country.
Recognize East Turkestan as an occupied country.
Recognize Turkestan as an occupied country.
Recognize East Turkestan's struggle for independence.
Recognize Turkestan struggle for independence.
Recognize East Turkestan's struggle for independence.
Recognize Turkestan struggle for independence.
Bring China before the Hague.
Bring China before the Hague.
Bring China before the Hague.
Bring China before the Hague.
Take China to the ICC now.
Take China to the ICC now.
Take China to the ICC now.
Bring China to the ICC now.
Bring China before the Hague.
Bring China before the Hague.
Bring China before the Hague.
Bring China before the Hague.
Take China to the ICJ now.
Take China to the ICJ now.
Take China to the ICJ now.
Take China to the ICJ now.
Terrorist China.
Terrorist China.
Terrorist China.
Terrorist China.
Fascist China.
Fascist China.
Fascist China.
Fascist China.
Racist China.
Racist China.
Racist China.
Racist China.
Imperialist China.
Imperialist China.
Imperialist China.
Imperialist China.
74 years is enough.
74 years is enough.
74 years is enough.
74 years is enough.
China, get out of East Turkestan now.
China, get out of Turkestan now.
China, get out of East Turkestan now.
China, get out of Turkestan now.
74 years is enough.
74 years is enough.
74 years is enough.
74 years is enough.
China, get out of East Turkestan now.
China, get out of Turkestan now.
China, get out of East Turkestan now.
China, get out of Turkestan now.
China, end the genocide.
China, end the genocide.
China, end the genocide.
China, end the genocide.
China, end the occupation.
China, end the occupation.
China, end the occupation.
China, end the occupation.
China, end the colonization.
China, end the colonization.
China, end the colonization.
China, end the colonization.
Go home, China.
Go home, China.
Go home, China.
Go home, China.
We want our country back.
We want the country back.
We want our country back.
We want the country back.
Go home, China.
Go home, China.
Go home, China.
Go home, China.
We want our independence back.
We want our independence back.
We want our independence back.
We want our independence back.
Restore East Turkestan's independence.
Restore Turkestan independence.
Restore East Turkestan's independence.
Restore Turkestan independence.
Restore East Turkestan's independence now.
Restore Turkestan independence now.
Restore East Turkestan's independence now.
Restore Turkestan independence now.
Remember Ghulja.
Remember Ghulja.
February 5th, never forget.
February 1st, never forget.
Remember Ghulja.
Remember Ghulja.
February 5th, never forget.
February 5th, never forget.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
Justice for East Turkestan.
Justice for East Turkestan.
Justice for East Turkestan.
Justice for East Turkestan.
Hear East Turkestan's plea.
Hear East Turkestan's plea.
Hear East Turkestan's plea.
Hear East Turkestan's plea.
In the Chinese occupation.
In the Chinese occupation.
In the Chinese occupation.
In the Chinese occupation.
Act now, U.S. Congress.
Act now, U.S. Congress.
Act now, U.S. Congress.
Act now, U.S. Congress.
Justice must begin now.
Justice must begin now.
Justice must begin now.
Justice must begin now.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
Independence for East Turkestan.
Independence for East Turkestan.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
Independence for East Turkestan.
Independence for East Turkestan.
U.S. Congress, don't delay.
U.S. Congress, don't delay.
Act for East Turkestan today.
Act for East Turkestan today.
U.S. Congress, don't delay.
U.S. Congress, don't delay.
Act for East Turkestan today.
Act for East Turkestan today.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
Stand up to Chinese imperialism.
Stand up to Chinese imperialism.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
Stand up to Chinese imperialism.
Stand up to Chinese imperialism.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
Stand up to Chinese colonialism.
Stand up to Chinese colonialism.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
Stand up to Chinese colonialism.
Stand up to Chinese colonialism.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
Oppose Chinese occupation of East Turkestan.
Oppose Chinese occupation of East Turkestan.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
Oppose Chinese occupation of East Turkestan.
Oppose Chinese occupation of East Turkestan.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
Oppose Chinese colonization of East Turkestan.
Oppose Chinese colonization of East Turkestan.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
Oppose Chinese colonization of East Turkestan.
Oppose Chinese colonization of East Turkestan.
Call it East Turkestan, not Xinjiang.
Call it Turkestan, not Xinjiang.
Call it East Turkestan, not Xinjiang.
Call it Turkestan, not Xinjiang.
East Turkestan is not a part of China.
East Turkestan is not a part of China.
East Turkestan is not a part of China.
East Turkestan is not a part of China.
East Turkestan is not China's internal affairs.
East Turkestan is not China's internal affairs.
East Turkestan is not China's internal affairs.
East Turkestan is not China's internal affairs.
Recognize East Turkestan as an occupied country.
Recognize Turkestan as an occupied country.
Recognize East Turkestan as an occupied country.
Recognize East Turkestan as an occupied country.
Recognize East Turkestan's struggle for independence.
Recognize East Turkestan's struggle for independence.
Recognize East Turkestan's struggle for independence.
Recognize East Turkestan's struggle for independence.
Bring China before the Hague.
Bring China before the Hague.
Bring China before the Hague.
Bring China before the Hague.
Take China to the ICC now.
Take China to the ICC now.
Take China to the ICC now.
Take China to the ICC now.
Bring China before the Hague.
Bring China before the Hague.
Bring China before the Hague.
Bring China before the Hague.
Take China to the ICJ now.
Take China to the ICJ now.
Take China to the ICJ now.
Take China to the ICJ now.
Terrorist China.
Terrorist China.
Terrorist China.
Terrorist China.
Fascist China.
Fascist China.
Fascist China.
Fascist China.
Racist China.
Racist China.
Racist China.
Racist China.
Imperialist China.
Terrorist China.
Imperialist China.
Terrorist China.
74 years is enough.
74 years is enough.
74 years is enough.
74 years is enough.
China, get out of East Turkestan now.
China, get out of East Turkestan now.
China, get out of East Turkestan now.
China, get out of East Turkestan now.
74 years is enough.
74 years is enough.
China, end the genocide now.
China end the genocide now.
74 years is enough.
74 years is enough.
China, end the genocide now.
China end the genocide now.
74 years is enough.
74 years is enough.
China, end the occupation now.
China end the occupation now.
74 years is enough.
74 years is enough.
China, end the occupation now.
China end the occupation now.
74 years is enough.
74 years is enough.
China, end the colonization now.
China end the colonization now.
74 years is enough.
74 years is enough.
China, end the colonization now.
China end the colonization now.
74 years is enough.
74 years is enough.
Go home, China.
Go home, China.
74 years is enough.
74 years is enough.
Go home, China.
Go home, China.
74 years is enough.
74 years is enough.
We want our country back.
We want our country back.
74 years is enough.
74 years is enough.
We want our country back.
We want our country back.
74 years is enough.
74 years is enough.
We want our independence back.
We want our independence back.
74 years is enough.
74 years is enough.
We want our independence back.
We want our independence back.
Restore East Turkestan's independence.
Restore East Turkestan's independence.
Restore East Turkestan's independence.
Restore East Turkestan's independence.
Restore East Turkestan's independence now.
Restore East Turkestan's independence now.
Restore East Turkestan's independence now.
Restore East Turkestan's independence now.
Toxtamda yani bir qatır planda. Sizlar bağlar.
Remember Ghulja.
Remember Ghulja.
Remember Ghulja.
Remember Ghulja.
February 5th, never forget.
February 5th, never forget.
Remember Ghulja.
Remember Ghulja.
February 5th, never forget.
February 5th, never forget.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
Justice for East Turkestan.
Justice for East Turkestan.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
Justice for East Turkestan.
Justice for East Turkestan.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
Hear East Turkestan's plea.
Let East Turkestan be.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
U.S. Congress, take a stand.
End the Chinese occupation.
End the Chinese occupation.
Act now, U.S. Congress.
Act now, U.S. Congress.
Act now, U.S. Independence for East Turkestan.
Independence for East Turkestan.
U.S. Congress take a stand.
U.S. Congress take a stand.
Independence for East Turkestan.
Independence for East Turkestan.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
Act for East Turkestan today.
Act for East Turkestan today.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
Act for East Turkestan today.
Act for East Turkestan today.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
Stand up to Chinese imperialism.
Stand up to Chinese imperialism.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
Stand up to Chinese imperialism.
Stand up to Chinese imperialism.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
Stand up to Chinese colonialism.
Stand up to Chinese colonialism.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
Stand up to Chinese colonialism.
Stand up to Chinese colonialism.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
In Chinese occupation of East Turkestan.
And Chinese occupation of Turkestan.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
In the Chinese occupation of East Turkestan.
And Chinese occupation of East Turkestan.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
In Chinese colonization of East Turkestan.
And Chinese colonization of East Turkestan.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
In Chinese colonization of East Turkestan.
And Chinese colonization of East Turkestan.
Call it East Turkestan, not Xinjiang.
Call it Turkestan, not Xinjiang.
Call it East Turkestan, not Xinjiang.
Call it Turkestan, not Xinjiang.
East Turkestan is not a part of China.
East Turkestan not part of China.
East Turkestan is not a part of China.
East Turkestan not part of China.
East Turkestan is not China's internal affairs.
East Turkestan not China's internal affairs.
East Turkestan is not China's internal affairs.
East Turkestan not China's internal affairs.
Recognize East Turkestan.
Recognize East Turkestan.
Recognize East Turkestan.
Recognize East Turkestan.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
Recognize East Turkestan today.
Recognize East Turkestan today.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
Recognize East Turkestan today.
Recognize East Turkestan today.
Recognize East Turkestan as an occupied country.
Recognize East Turkestan as an occupied country.
Recognize East Turkestan as an occupied country.
Recognize East Turkestan as an occupied country.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
Recognize East Turkestan's fight for independence.
Recognize East Turkestan for independence.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
Recognize East Turkestan's fight for independence.
Recognize East Turkestan for independence.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
Bring China before the Hague.
U.S. China before the Hague.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
Bring China before the Hague.
Bring China before the Hague.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
Take China to the ICC today.
U.S. China to the ICC today.
Take China to the ICC today.
U.S. China to the ICC today.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
U.S. Congress don't delay.
Take
Fascist China!
Racist China!
Racist China!
Racist China!
Racist China!
Imperialist China!
Imperialist China!
Imperialist China!
Imperialist China!
China and the occupation!
China and the occupation!
China and the occupation!
China and the occupation!
74 years is enough!
74 years is enough!
China, get out of East Turkestan!
China out of Turkestan!
74 years is enough!
74 years is enough!
China, get out of East Turkestan!
China out of Turkestan!
74 years is enough!
74 years is enough!
China end the genocide!
China and the genocide!
74 years is enough!
74 years is enough!
China end the genocide!
China and the genocide!
74 years is enough!
74 years is enough!
China end the occupation!
China and the occupation!
74 years is enough!
74 years is enough!
China end the occupation!
China and the occupation!
74 years is enough!
74 years is enough!
China and the colonization!
China and the colonization!
74 years is enough!
74 years is enough!
China and the colonization!
China and the colonization!
74 years is enough!
74 years is enough!
Go home, China!
Go home, China!
74 years is enough!
74 years is enough!
Go home, China!
Go home, China!
74 years is enough!
74 years is enough!
We want our country back!
We want our country back!
We want our country back!
We want our country back!
74 years is enough!
74 years is enough!
We want our independence back!
We want our independence back!
74 years is enough!
74 years is enough!
We want our independence back!
We want our independence back!
74 years is enough!
74 years is enough!
Restore East Turkestan's independence!
Restore Turkestan independence!
Restore East Turkestan's independence!
Restore Turkestan independence!
74 years is enough!
74 years is enough!
Restore East Turkestan's independence now!
Restore Turkestan independence now!
Restore East Turkestan's independence now!
Restore Turkestan independence now!
Thank you for everyone that's here today, as well as those who are joining us online. Again, we're here today to commemorate the 27th anniversary of the 1997 Ghulja Massacre of February 5th, and to call on the United States Congress and the U.S. government to take more meaningful actions to end China's prolonged campaign of colonization, genocide, and occupation in East Turkestan. The United States Congress and the U.S. government must recognize the roots, the true disease, not just the symptoms. The disease and the root of the ongoing genocide in East Turkestan is none other than Chinese colonization and occupation of East Turkestan. Until East Turkestan regains its independence, until East Turkestanis are able to be free from Chinese occupation, free from Chinese colonization, the genocide will sadly continue. Massacres like the Ghulja Massacre of February 5th, 1997 will only continue. So we ask the U.S. government, the U.S. Congress, to hear our plea and to recognize East Turkestan as an occupied country, to take meaningful actions to end China's ongoing genocide in East Turkestan, to end this ongoing campaign of colonization and occupation by taking Chinese officials to the ICJ, the Chinese state to the ICJ, by taking Chinese officials to the ICC, by bringing the East Turkestan national question to the agenda of the UN Security Council, to the UN General Assembly. Assalamu alaikum barlık kerendaşlar. Amanlarınki şu vaxtınla hayırlık olsun. Gerçi bu gün biz için bir hayırlı gün emas. Milletimizdeki ve Ghuljdaki halkımızdaki kırgınçılık uçurgan facialik bir gün. Ama bu gün Şarkı Türkistan halkınınki müstakillikinden vazgeçmegenlikini, Xitayning düşmanlikini, tunuganlikini ve Şarkı Türkistan'ın müstakillikini aslı keltirmey başka yol yok ekanligini soğuk demey neçe minglarca ez vatandaşlarımız, ez qarindoshlarimiz G'ulja'nın ko'chalariga to'kilib bizimizning davlatimizningki haq huquqlarini, xalqimizning, millatimizningki erkinligini, davlatimizningki mustaqilligini talab qilib neçe bin qarindoshlarimiz şehit bo'ldi. Biz bu chet ellarda yani şu şehit qarindoshlarımizning qon bedelida yashayapmiz qarindoshlar. Bizning majburiyatimiz yalnız insanlık mecburiyetinden sırt Şarkı Türkistanlık, Müslümanlık, Uygurluk, Kazaklık, Kırgızlık baş insanlık mecburiyetimiz vatanımızga, devletimizga, aşağıdaki öldürülevatkan, turmalarda kıyınıp, baskınçılıkka, işkencege, zulümga, düçar bulavatkan halkımızga, qarindoshlarımızga, atalarımızga, analarımızga, ballarımızga, ağaç sınıl qarindoshlarımızga egi chiqish ez qarindoshlar. Ve bunu qanday qilamiz? Xalqaraga hammamizningki barliq teşkilatlar yalnız xalq bu teşkilatlar unumasa xalqlar, xalqimiz besimimizni ishlatib bu manqur teşkilatlarga, manqur faaliyetçilerge bu yolga meni ishga mecburlaşımız gerek qarindoshlar. Bizningki mustaqil davlatimizni asli keltirmay turib, bizningki kishilik huquqimiz, erkinlikimiz, diniy huquqlarimiz, insondek yashash fursatimiz bo'lmaydiganligini hammamiz ko'ryapmiz. Davlatsizlikninki dardini hammamiz tortyapmiz. Davlatimiz bo'lmasa başka bir kuch kelib bizga chiqmaydi, biz o'zimizga chiqmasak. Shuning uchun hammamizning talabi o'xshash bo'lishi kerak. Hammamizning birinchi vazifamiz, oxirgi nishonimiz emas, birinchi nishonimiz Sharq Turkistonning mustaqilligini asli keltirish bo'lishi kerak aziz qarindoshlar. Birinchi nishonimiz shu bo'lishi kerak. Davlatimizning mustaqilligini asli keltirgandan keyin bizningki kishilik huquqimiz, erkinligimiz, diniy haqlarimiz, bayliqimiz, mavjudligimiz hamma narsaga shu bir narsaga bog'liq qila oladi. U bo'lsa Sharq Turkiston davlatining mustaqilligi, ya'ni mustaqil Sharq Turkiston Cumhuriyetininki qaytadan asli kelishi qarindoshlar. Shuning uchun biz bu yo'lda hamma yerda dunyoning narida bo'lsak o'xshash talabni qilishimiz kerak. Xalqaro deyishimiz kerak. Agar seninki resmi kishilik huquqni hurmatlaydigan, kishilik huquqni himoya qiladigan niyating bo'lsa, agar o'z taqdirini o'z belgilashni hurmat qiladigan niyating bo'lsa, bizning qirilib ketishimizni to'xtatish niyating bo'lsa, oldi bilan davlatimizni beslab olgan davlatga betaraf qil. Xitoy jallodlarini, Xitoy davlatini xalqaro jinoiy ishlar sotiga, xalqaro adolat sotiga appa Sharq Turkiston davlat masalasini BDT'nin kun tartibiga akka deyishimiz kerak. Boshqa qilgan hareketlerin hammasi quruq. Çünkü mana Amerika irqiy qirg'inchilikni e'tirof qildi. Nurg'un davlatlar irqiy qirg'inchilik dedi. Xalqaro irqiy qirg'inchilik qilyapti deb hammasi bildi. Qonunlarni chiqardi, uni qildi, buni qildi. Ammo yana necha million qarindoshlarimiz, ya'ni 40 milyon qarindoshlarimiz Sharq Turkistonda qirilyapti. Turmalarda yetyapti, o'ltirilyapti. Birisini nima qutqizolmadik? Nima qutqiza oladi? Davlatimizningki mustaqilligini asli keltirish. Davlatimizni asli kelgandan keyin, uningdan keyin ularni qutqiza olamiz, ularga ish qila olamiz. mevcutluğumuzu saklayalayımız hem narsamiz bo'ladi qarindoshlar. Shuning uchun xalq buluş butunla bilen barliq tashkilotlarga, barliq faoliyatchilarga senin birinci mecburiyetin ma'u Şarkı Türkistan devletinin müstakillikini nasıl keltiriş. Muş yolda menişin kerek. Devletimizni besilvağın zimindap itiraf kıldırışın kerek. Xitay jallatlarını, Xitay devletini, halkara adalet sotuğa, halkaranın akilişini yolga menişin kerek. Xitay jallatlarını, halkara cinayetler sotuğa akilişini yolga menişin kerek. Şarkı Türkistan devlet meselesini BDT'nin gün tertip akilişi ne yolga menişin kerek. Başka kuruluşunu koyup koy, müşini kıl deyişini kerek aziz qarindoshlar. Bo'lmasa bizninki qutuluşumuz yok. Biz vaqt nurg'un vaqt ziyonla vaqtimizni isrof qildik. Nurg'un mana shaxsan men chet elga chiqqilga 24 yil bo'lay dedi. 24 yil. 24 yilning yozi mana shu sergazdan yashab o'timiz. 5 yılın yazı Allah'a şükür azrak bir ilgirleş buldu. Ama bu ilgirleşini tusavatkan bazı münafık hainler var. Şimdi demişsem mi zaten kandalıkını üzerine bilirsiniz aziz halkım. Sizler halk buluşunuz bütünlü bilen. Eğer karendişim deydiğen bolsanlar üzerindeki aşağıda kırılavatkan halkını üzerine karendiş deydiğen bolsa, üzerine Uygur, üzerine Şarkı Türkistanlık, üzerine insan deydiğen bolsanlar. O teşkilatlara ot almış davagerlige ma birinci vazifen Şarkı Türkistan'ın beslavağın devlet tap itiraf kıldırış. Birinci vazifen Şarkı Türkistan meselesine BDT'ninki devlet meselesine, kişilik hukuk meselesine emas, devlet meselesine, zaman meselesine BDT'nin gün tertiprak geldiriş için barlık gücünü şunu yetkizişin gerek. Eğer Amerikalıklar ya başkasına kim pul bir atsa ya bunu kılanmayımızsa pulunu red kılmayız. Onda pul gerek emez bizge. Devletimiz gerek. Deyişini mecburlaşımız gerek aziz qarindoshlar. Biz Allah'a şükür halkının ki yani umumi Şarkı Türkistan halkının ki qo'llashi bilan ve besimi bilan bu münafıklarning ki basırıp koygan kanunni o'tirg'i chiqarib kanun qila oldik. Gerçi aciz bo'lsa-mu qila oldik. Biz 109 ming ularniki atalmış Şinjan petitioniga Şarkı Türkistan petitioni bilan qarshi turib Aksarayga 109 ming imzo bilan bugungi mush irqiy qirg'inchilikni e'tirof qilib Xitoyni jazolat. Xitoy amaldorlarini jazolat, Xitoy shirkatlarini jazolat, Xitoy bilan munosabatni imqilma bizning masalamizni BDT'ga kun tartib akka deb imzo atdik 109 mingimiz. Ve şu imzalı bilen, şu hareket bilen bugünkü müşakeler aldık. Ama yana çağırık kılman. Yani biz işçil hareket kılışımız gerek. Biz devletimizden başka yol yok ekanligini dünyanın hamma yerida o'xshash shuar bilan, o'xshash talab bilan, o'xshash arzu bilan mixdek qadilib tursak xalqaro bizningki irodamizni hurmat qilmay boshqa chorasi yo'q. Munofiqlarni, xoinlarni Çırak tasak milletin sepimizin çıkırtıversek, olağı salam vermesek, onun diki münafık hainliği, münafıklıktan hainlikten vaz geçiyor. Ve kalbi kılımız. Aziz qarindoshlar. Şunun için yana deydiğim şu. Nerede bolsanlar, dünyanın ne qaysi devletinde bolsanlar, yalnız bir kişilik bolsanlar mı, üzerindeki şu bir kişilik Şarkı Türkistanlık, Uygurluk, insanlık burçunun ada kılıp, üzerindeki şu turavatkan devletinin parlamentiga, Taşqi ishlar ministriga, teşkilatını bilen, eğer yalnız bir kişi bolsanlar, şu bir kişi aslında kuşap, aşı devletinki turavatkan parlament azalarına, Taşqi ishlar ministriga bu talabını kılınlar. Devletimizni besilvağın zimindap itiraf qilib, bizninki mustaqillikdan bizga boshqa yo'l yo'q ekanligini e'tirof qil. Biz devletimiz bo'lmasa hech kim bizga chiqmaydiganligini, sen menga chiqmayotsa boshqasi menga chiqmaydi. Şu fakat devletimiz iş kalaydı bizge. Şunun için biz devletimizni asıl keltiriş için biz yerden be. Kulundan kâginini kılıp şunu kılışımız gerek aziz karandaşlar. Bizden talebimiz bu şu da ammisiga. Agar kişilik hukukunu üstünden imqisamında olsa kişilik hukuk kırgınçılık lavıdı. Apıra Xitayni halkara cinayi sotga, apıra Xitayni halkara adalet sotga diyalişimiz gerek aziz karandaşlar. Ananı diken hemmimiz bu şunda en addi besimini kıla alsak, hemmimiz birlikte bunu işini kıysak, çokum galbi kılımız. Kanda ağzı kışa galip kılıp kile alsak, inşallah bunu diken galbi kılımız aziz karandaşlar. Hemmenlaga müşük vaxtınla hayırlık olsun. Kelgişimiz hayırlık olsun. Allah bizne ki devletimizden müstakillik nesli kilitiriş için bizge güç kuvvet, cesaret, öz panahidin bizge iqtisadi, askeri, siyasi, diplomasiye yardımlarını versin. Devletimizne, hükümetimizne güçlendirsin. Hainlarını, münafıklarını bizning sepimizden, milletimizin arsıdan yirak kıysın. Hainlarının, münafıklarının, satqınlarının, düşmanlarının yaman niyetlerden, yaman suikastlardan ve tüm şeytanlarının suikastlardan bu milletimizne, halkımızne, davasımızne, hükümetimizne, devletimizne saklasın.
Amin.
Ve bizne bilip bilmey vatanımızga, devletimizga, milletimizga, halkımızga hıyanet kılıp kalıştın, satqınlık kılıp kalıştın, münafıklık kılıp kalıştın saklasın.
Amin.
Şehitlerimizge şu 5. fevraldaki kırılgan şehitlerimiz ve tüm Şarkı Türkistan'daki az burundan taç bazı kırılavatkan şehitlerimizinki yatkan yerini Firdevs cennet ata kılgay.
Amin.
Bizne şu şehitlerinin ruhunu ata kılgay. Şu şehitlerdik biz mi? İnşallah bir gün kilip şu Şarkı Türkistan'ımızdaki müstakillik için düşmanımızga kolumuzda kural bilen Şarkı Türkistan'ı azat kılış için, Şarkı Türkistan'ın müstakillikini keltiriş için düşmanımız bilen karşı uruşka ve şehitlik mürtebin ilişkin nasip kılsın.
Amin.
Amin. Amin.
O verip bana ver. Hemen ala. Ketmeyin tırınla. Ketmeyin tırınla.